Boy, we got a great deal for you today. We got a brand new Faro scanner. Starts out with this tripod. Look at that, 3 legs, gorgeous. And check this out, telescoping. You need someone to carry that tripod? We got this bag, tripod in bag, gorgeous. You need a head for this bad boy, so you can pivot it around. Clips right in, amazing. Batteries, can't get enough batteries. This comes with not 2, but 3. It's amazing. You gotta charge those bad boys. Look at this, charger, fancy. What about cleaning and taking care of your laser scanner? Lens cleaner, just come on here, little wipe, perfect. And when you're all done, you need someone to pack up this bad boy. Handy dandy bag. Even comes with a lens protector. All this can be yours for $3,099.
In the previous video, we covered the registration settings typically used in Scene. There are other options available within the settings parameters. However, these are typically based on personal preference, so feel free to look in there as needed. In this video, we'll walk through the pre-processing of our test project. The new Scene interface is very simple to use, as it's a left to right configuration as it walks you through the process. We want to first pre-process our scans. What it will do is it will create an initial scans cluster where it's placed all of our scans. We simply click on that scans cluster and go to the configure processing options. This will hold all of the defaults that we had previously set up, so we want to simply do a quick check to make sure it's still set up as constituted. Once we're happy with the settings, we will begin our processing. Since we're only working with 5 scans here, this should take only a few minutes. However, depending on the size and settings that you've used on your scanning project, this step could take up to an hour or more, depending on the number of scans. If you have a large project consisting of hundreds of scans, it's recommended to break these registrations up into smaller sub-registrations so as to not overtax your hardware and software. Typically, we will run on max registration between 40 and 50 scans before the software can't handle it anymore. As you can see, Scene has completed the initial pre-processing for our scans. In this case, it's giving us a green light indicator, meaning that everything looks good initially. If we want to look more in depth to see what this registration looks like, simply double click on the scan manager. If you click in the scan results tab, it will give you information pertaining to each of the scans, how they tie into the overall registration. What they're showing us here is that each of these scans, which as I expand out, I can show you scan 2, 4, 0, 1, and 3. It will give us the mean target distribution error. If I click into the target tensions tab, it will show me the specific tensions between the actual references themselves. In this case, we're using checkerboards for our registration, and we can see here that our tensions are a little bit higher than we would like. For our typical registrations, we want to be 1/4 inch or less, and so we want to have these distribution errors under 0.015 feet. In order to do this, we will simply click on the reference, right click, and say set the anti-correspondence. This process will allow us to eliminate any targets that may have moved or for other reasons have been high tension. This is an iterative process whereby we will continue to set anti-correspondences on these scan targets to the point where all of our references are going to be below that 0.015 foot threshold. Once we've achieved that, then we can take a look at what our overall registration looks at. In part 3, we will have all of our tensions down and we'll take a look at the scans.